The year was 1935 EC. Two powers controlled the continent. In the east, the sun rose over the autocratic East European Imperial Alliance, otherwise known as the Empire. In the west, a network of loosely allied democracies formed the Atlantic Federation. Both powers depended on a precious mineral ragnite for their survival, and its growing scarcity led to the inevitable war. Hostilities began in the east when the Empire aggressively crossed their western border. The Atlantic Federation responded, and the Second European War was on. The Empire, with its vast military superiority, struck hard, gaining ground in early victories and putting the Federation on the defensive. Emboldened by their progress and momentum, the Empire set their sights beyond the borders of the Federation. In neighboring Gallia, a peaceful principality along the sea, they found their next victim. Gallia had long maintained its neutrality in the tensions between the two superpowers. But the rich stores of ragnite under the Gallian soil proved too tempting for the Empire. It amassed troops along the eastern border and invaded with all the force of an avalanche. March 1935. Outside the Gallian border town of Brule. Residents are leaving the town before the invasion, headed inland towards the capital.
I haven't been down this road in years. It really hasn't changed very much. Whoa. Already? Hey there, guys. You're beautiful. Starting early this year. You're heading upstream, huh? How's the water?
Freeze! Put your hands in the air. Slowly. Haven't seen you around before. What's your name?
My name's Welkin. And you are...
The one with the gun. We're with the Bruletown Watch. I'm Alicia. Alicia Melchiot. So, I'm wondering what you've been writing in that little book you've got there. Imperial spies are in the area.
This book is nothing, really. I was just sketching the fish and, you know...
Yes. Oh, I know. And you know there's a war on, don't you? All right then, Mr. Artist. We'll talk about fish sketching down at the station. Take him away.
Thanks, fish.
Flowers, bugs, and fish. You're not bad with a pen, are you? I have to say, they're really very good.
Thank you. So you see, I really was just sketching.
Maybe. Or this could be some kind of secret code. And I intend to take my time finding out for sure.
Great.
Welks? Is that you?
Isara! Oh, your timing is perfect.
What have you gotten yourself into now, Welkin? Wait. Don't you live at the old General's house? That's right. I'm General Gunther's daughter, Isara. You do know everyone's supposed to evacuate, right?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
My brother's here to help me move to the capital, but that may be difficult. I mean, unless you're willing to let him go, that is. Huh? I apologize, but I was just doing my job, you know. I saw you with the notebook and thought you were a spy. Again, I'm really sorry about that.
Thanks. Don't worry about it. I can see how I might have looked a little suspicious.
Welks has a real passion for observing nature. That's why he's studying it at the university, right?
Guilty as charged. I get so into it sometimes I forget where I am, or that somebody might be watching me.
Gunfire! Everyone keep your heads down!
Over there! Come on! Damn it!
Welkin, you can handle a gun, right?
Yeah. I mean, I made it through training anyway.
Well, they're probably just a small scouting team. We should be able to take them out.
I'm with you.
Okay, here's the plan.
Yes, Alicia has a plan. And our plan is to welcome you to Valkyria Chronicles, a game that came out a long time ago, but I never knew about it when it came out, and to this day I am absolutely gutted that I never knew about this game when it came out. It recently got ported over to Steam when it came to my attention, and it is absolutely brilliant.
Let's get started. Just stay calm and get it done.
Let's get started. Right, so it's a mixture of strategy and kind of third person, first person.
I see
yeah.
3 of them.
That's 3 too many. Stay sharp.
Yes, stay sharp. Alright, come on.
Listen a second. There's something I should explain.
I'd rather kind of skip through this as quickly as possible and just point out as we go along. Up the top there, this is the strategy side of things. Up the top there, it's got 3 little stars, which means we can move 3 people, or the same person 3 times. We can take 3 actions. We can pick who we want, and the strategy side of things is this overview top-down map, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, think about what we're going to do. But then when you decide who you're going to use, and we're going to use Alicia, we zoom down here. And when you select people, each person, depending on their type, has a different amount of movement speed. You can use that movement to get into a position, and it's going to give us another tutorial. Yep. And at any point during that movement, you can take an action of some kind using whatever's equipped down the bottom. The grenades, Ragnite, gun. We'll use the gun because we're going to go right up close, and there we go. So once you get close enough to a target, you can obviously aim where you're going, and you've got your margin of error circle, and it will tell you what it takes to kill. Headshots obviously kill quicker. If you go to body, that's 7 shots to kill. We only get 5 shots with this gun, so we aim for the head, and we hope that 2 hit, which they did. Good Alicia. But that's not all, because after a nod of encouragement, we've still got movement left. We can't take any actions, but we can at least move. Alright, the game does have a cover system in place. Increases defenses, that kind of thing works. We might not make it to cover. Nope. But we can end the action there. Now she's perfectly fine, because they'll only shoot at you while you're actually in control of that character. And I could leave her position there, and if that dude ever tried to move, she would take reaction shots at it. But we want to kill him before he does any of that. So we're gonna go over here, tuck behind the cover. Aha! And let's see if Alicia can take out the second one, which she does. Right, and then we've got a third one over there. We can get around. He's taking shots at us, but we can take cover. Can't take any action, so we're going to have to end the turn there. But we can drop back down into her again. Bring up the scope. She needs 2 shots. There we go. And that's how you do things. Operation complete.
I don't see any more of them.
Yes, that's because you killed them all. Alicia's got better accuracy at the moment than Welkin does, so she's better to use at the moment. Alicia's just generally pretty good. The story unfolds in a different manner, and what you do between each of these missions, that's all handled separately, which I will load up after the remaining parts of the video. There's our A rank. Obviously we get experience and money for completing the mission. I've already been through and I've completed the game, so I've got a generally good idea of how to do each of the missions. I might not A rank all of them, because, you know, I like having fun sometimes. But at the end of this next clip, I'm going to switch over to the New Game Plus save file that I have and show you what happens in between missions. I'm going to show you this just like this once, and then for the remaining chapters of the story, I'll just fill you in on, you know, the important details and stuff. This should hopefully be able to let me edit it down into a more streamlined story-based kind of playthrough. Make it a little bit more entertaining to watch. But yeah, I think it is actually really entertaining to watch. The story is so good. The art style is brilliant and quite unique. And the gameplay is fun and challenging. The strategy of it is good. You'll see that unfold, and I'll explain more about the different things that you can do and stuff like that as we go through it all. There is more to it, but not really able to explain it all so quickly in a short amount of time, so let's move on.
Miss Melchiot, there's no other sign of the enemy.
Good. Now, go keep watch and stay alert.
Yes, ma'am. What should we do with the bodies, ma'am?
We'll bury them. So it's begun. I'll do whatever it takes to protect the people of this town. I'll do it. Even going to war, I'll do it. What are those?
Seeds from the lion's paw. It blooms white, small, simple, and strong.
I want to be able to remember, once the war is over, that it wasn't all just people killing people. That even in war, there was also new life.
On the 15th day of the 3rd month of the year 1935, the Empire began its assault in earnest. A formal declaration of war was made upon Gallia. Though it was only a small front in a massive continental assault, what followed would prove that a tiny nation could best a military giant. These events would tell a story of tragedy hidden in the mists of time. A story of courage and of trust, of persecution and hate. And of love blooming even through the flames of war. What follows is a record of this conflict, and of those who fought, lived, and died.
Now that was just the prologue, and that was absolutely awesome. I'm sure you're already intrigued and want to see more. But this is how the story unfolds. It's done in a scrapbook kind of way. You go through each of the videos, and then you have a map that displays the mission you're about to do, and you unlock, you know, bit by bit, as you progress through the story. And then once you've finished the 2 pages, the book will flip open, and this will be the next one, chapter 1, and you got all this to go through. This is actually my New Game Plus save file, so it's like all unlocked. Between the pages, you go to the tab select, and you get to go to the headquarters. Return to headquarters, yes. At the headquarters, you get the different things you do to prepare yourself for each of the missions. That includes the squad barracks, where you get to equip your members with loading screens. Sorry for spoilers, but this is apparently what I was using when I completed the game the first time. This is where you basically just come and equip them with, you know, what weapons you get. The royal weapons are obviously the best, so those are the ones that you want to equip as and when you get them. You get them as you progress through the story, and you can throw them onto your squad members. The squad members you select from the command group. This woman will let you go through all the different recruits. You can have, obviously I've got 2 open slots apparently available. You get to go through, select which ones you want. Who you select is based off of what type kind of they are. Obviously these are the scouts, the troopers, the lancers, and the engineers and snipers. The different types you've got, and each person, and I think this is one of the great things about Valkyria Chronicles, is each of the characters has such an individual personality and backstory to them if you actually read into it and stuff like that. And their voices, the voice work done on them, and the character personalities while you're out on the field and fighting and stuff like that is absolutely brilliant. They each have personal traits, things that help them, like this: standing in a grassy field helps them relax, enhancing their defense. So while in grass kind of environments, she'll have increased defense. Having allies of the same unit class puts them at ease, raising their natural evasion. So if she's sitting next to another sniper, she'll have better things. And there's obviously the likes and stuff. These are all things that affect their parameters and performance. Less than defensive, less than half HP, bad. After the last anxiety, you know, all these different traits that they have that go on through Marina. All very good. Like this one is standing too much plant fight, so in a grassy field, steadily loses HP, but good in the darkness and good when when not on her own. I read it as lone wolf, and then I was like, hey, what? It says when allies are nearby. Yes. So if anyone else is near her, she can't evade as much as possible. Yeah, these are all the different traits that you can take into mind. Personally, I had more fun with the personalities that each character was given, because I reckon that's way more fun than being efficient with their traits and stuff. Anyway, once you've selected your units and stuff like that, you've got to use the experience you get in those missions, come to the training field, and once it loads, you basically just level them all up. The important thing to get to is level 11, because that's when they come elite. This is how they were when I completed the game. Obviously, favourite scouts. Scouts are brilliant. They're definitely worth getting to elite as quickly as possible. And you basically just like push the bar along, and once you get to the other end, they level up. What's got the lowest engineers? A little bit more. Apparently, I've used up all the experience, but yeah, pretty straightforward. Throw experience into whatever type you prefer. I prefer the scouts, obviously. R&D. That's where you spend your money. And once it loads, yes, you can spend your money on developing weapons and stuff like that, and tanks. So as you go through the game, you'll be able to unlock and spend money on boosting up this. Apparently for rifles, I went for accuracy. That's another reason why I love the scouts with these rifles, and especially the accuracy part of them, because it makes them into practically a snipers. And once they get to level 11, they'll get the grenade launcher. Sorry, spoilers, whatever. The game's like quite old and very, very actually quite famous. Actually, it's got a lot of reputation to it, and just adds to my bafflement of how I never knew about this game until it came out onto Steam. And it's absolutely awesome. And again, like machine guns, apparently I went for clip size. Don't know why. Probably that's just what I was doing. The Lancers use these lances, which is basically rocket launchers. Sniper rifles, pretty straightforward. Flamethrowers, something that the assaults get when they get to elite. Grenades, everyone gets grenades. The scouts get a grenade launcher, which is absolutely fabulous. The uniforms just increasing armor and stuff. And then you got all the tanks that you can do different upgrades and stuff for. It's all pretty straightforward. You just upgrade things as soon as possible. You get plenty of money through just playing the campaign to generally upgrade what you need. Castlefront Street, that's where you get little stories that add bonus missions at different parts. The War Cemetery being those who have fallen in battle. I'll explain that as I go, as and when we deal with people falling in battle. No one's going to actually die because I know what I'm doing, ish. Audience Hall, as you go through the game, the queen of the area will reward you with medals and stuff like that, and that's where the royal weaponry comes in. You want to equip the royal weaponry as soon as you get them, because they're pretty good. And book mode, that's return to book mode, which is the actual how the story unfolds. So the next part of the story that we'll be covering, when I switch back to my new playthrough, not the New Game Plus, but a new game, I decided whether or not to do it via the New Game Plus. If I did it New Game Plus, it would be a walkover, because I would obviously be over-leveled, over-equipped, and just like one-shotting everything as I go through. I thought, while that might be efficient, it wouldn't be exactly very fun of a playthrough, so I decided to do a new game for the playthrough, so that the inaccuracy and lack of power, might be interesting. One of the other things, talking about lack of power, is when you get to missions that you can't do, you can come to the skirmishes map, and this is all where oh look, new stuff. You can come to here and repeat some of the missions purely for the purpose of gaining the experience you need to level up your troops. So if you're not having an easy enough time with a mission, or you just want a little bit of security with a mission, you can come and run skirmishes just to get that little bit more experience to your troops, and some money in if you want to buy those last few upgrades, just to make sure you've got everything possible. This one is the one that I ground the most, because at that point in the story it was like, I can't remember, but it was like I really needed more power, so I ended up grinding this one like anything to get my troops into elites. But yeah, when I'm playing through chapter select, apparently I've only done 3 chapters in this New Game Plus. Defense overall. Right. What was I saying? Oh yeah. All this page flipping and going to the headquarters stuff, I will edit that bit out, and when it comes to actually being on a map, if anything significant has changed, I will probably fill you in as we're doing it, just to save time, and to try and get a little bit more of a cinematic performance out of each chapter. Hopefully that'll be able to paste it together and be quite interesting. For the most part, it will just be letting you know whether or not I had to do skirmishes beforehand, which there are a couple of places where I probably will, but not for a while. And I'll probably just let you know when any of the troops reach level 11 and get elite status, because that's when I'll start using things like the grenade launcher or the flamethrower, mostly the grenade launcher. I can't think of anything else to explain about the game right now, other than the fact that I forgot to introduce one of the game's main stars. So we come to the squad barracks. Oh, no we don't. We come to the command room. Yes, I know what I'm doing. And no matter what happened in this game, there is one man who makes everything better. This guy is Jean Walker. I shall remove him.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you to death. You give me a call any old time, honey.
If you recognize that voice, I don't blame you. Let's put him back in again.
Hey, soldier. I'm Jan Walker. I'll fight with everything I've got.
That is the voice of John DiMaggio. He voiced Walker for Final Fantasy X and X-2, and he's also the voice of Bender from Futurama. And he plays this character is just you bring him into a fight with you, and no matter how things are going, you'll see. Trust me, you'll see. He makes everything just. I can't smile. You know, I can't not smile while Jan is out on the field. He is just so fabulous. It makes the game worth playing just for that. Exits. Go back. And yes, we shall try and get some Jan action coming out as soon as we get him. The characters you get are unlocked randomly as you progress through the story. I think by chapter like 4 or 5 or something like that, you have pretty much everyone available to you. They don't like level up individually as people. They all level up as a class, so everything of that class will level up together, which makes things easier. And that's why I also prefer picking my characters based on their personalities and the personalities that the voice actors bring to them, because I think that makes a much more enjoyable playthrough by having people that actually, you know, make me smile while playing, which is a lot of them. The personalities that the characters have got are just so good. I wonder if actually I can quickly get personnel. Is it personnel? Yes. So you can. Is he in there? Is he in there? Let's stick with Jean because we are talking about. There he is. So they all have the oh, you can actually move him around. That art style is so nice. It's simple but like so brilliant. And yeah, they've got all these backstories to them. His little sneezes are just adorable. A mother hen by nature, he worked as a babysitter before enlisting. Well, that explains a little bit. Yeah, the amount of detail in each of the characters is just spot on. It's brilliant, and hopefully I'll be able to show you a lot more of the characters through each of the playthroughs. It'll probably take a few chapters before we get a full roster kind of coming in and being able to switch people out and have a look at them all, but we'll get through eventually, and I'll try and paste it together to make it as cinematic and smooth running as possible, because I think this game, the art style, the way that the story plays out, the story is great. If you hadn't guessed it, it's kind of World War II-esque. It plays out as an alternate reality kind of World War II scenario. The tanks, the machine guns, the trenches, things like that. It's kind of that kind of motif behind it, but with a twist of an alternate reality. You'll see the kind of differences and similarities as the story progresses, and I think it's a story well worth enjoying. I think by the end of it, if you haven't seen it already, you'll be like probably most people who have played the game, just waiting for a console sequel to come out. There was 2 sequels, but they were both on the PSP. I'm tempted to go and dust off my old thing, which I don't think actually works anymore. But I would really love to see this game come out on maybe like a PS4 version, obviously a new one. Just because the art style, the gameplay, the characters, everything about this game is just so brilliant. It's so well done, and thoroughly enjoyable. So hopefully I'll be able to put it together so that you can enjoy it too, and you'll believe the same as I do that we want to see more of this. Speaking of seeing more of this, we should move on to this one, In Defense of Brawl, which would be the next part of the game. And we'll switch over to that. Go!